Welcome to the Hupcast. Hello and welcome to the second ever Hupcast. It's a pretty chocker show today, just about an hour's worth of music and interviews and me talking nonsense and trying not to mess up what I'm saying. Woohoo! There's music from Carb and an interview with James from the band. There's also music from Thunderdykes, Nodrog, the Changing Same and Man in Rug, and also an interview with Richard Swainson from Auteur House. But without further ado, this is Carb on a track called Eden Terrace. So that was Eden Terrace by Carb, and hopefully somewhere on the line I've got James Stutely from Carb. James, are you there?
Yes, hello.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm pretty good.
Excellent, very good. Just back from a wild trip overseas.
Yeah, I just got back last week.
Not
it was
bad.
Great. It was an awesome trip.
Yeah, and that was Malaysia and China?
Malaysia and Singapore. China was a couple of years ago.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. You can see how well I've researched this. Cool. So why? Can I ask why those places?
So we played in Singapore after the China tour in 2013.
Okay.
And I lived there as a kid, so I was already kind of interested in the area.
Yeah,
and we wanted to go back this time and thought we'd extend it into Malaysia because we'd heard good things and because it was possible to do.
Yeah, Fantastic. And was it as good as you'd heard?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's an awesome, thriving scene there with heaps of good bands and venues and people wanting to help out.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Very good. Was it a good place to grow up?
I just lived in Singapore for a couple of years, and yeah, it was pretty cool. They have like awesome science museums and things which I went to.
Yeah, awesome. Very good. Right, so I'm going to crack on with the questions in the order that I've got them. Otherwise, I'm going to lose my way completely. Very good. So, and forgive me if some of these are, cliched, but I think the listeners need to know. So, Carb on Carb. How long has Carb on Carb been together, as it is now?
Only really properly since start of 2012.
Okay.
Before that, we had like a few practices and written some songs, but we didn't really start like playing shows or anything regularly until 2012.
Yeah, cool. And before that, were you and Nicole, in another band?
Yeah, we were in Mammal Airlines together. She played drums in that one, and I played guitar.
Yeah.
We did that for maybe a year and a half or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And then you kind of had enough of that and thought, let's do this. Let's go in this direction.
Well, one of the members, because there was 3 people in that band,
right.
The other member moved away.
Okay.
So we just ended up cutting it down to 2 and doing Nicole's songs instead of mine.
Oh, okay. So Nicole's the main songwriter.
Yeah. Particularly for the first EPs. Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Excellent. And I know this is a horrible question because I've had to answer it myself in the past, but in terms of like influences on your music, which might be a crappy question, but who did you kind of grow up listening to, or who are you really, really into at the moment that you think affects how you guys write?
The stuff I grew up listening to is pretty like extremely different. I was really into classic rock as a teenager.
Excellent. So was I.
Yeah, but the last few years, and like particularly relevant to Carb on Carb, I've been listening to lots of 90s emo and modern emo in that same sort of vein. So it's not like My Chemical Romance or anything. It's like American football, and Mineral and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
So it's sort of like comes out more like emotional indie rock rather than like the mainstream emo that was popular 10 years ago.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. So in terms of the writing process, and Nicole, I mean, how does it work? Nicole will bring a song that she's already got in mind, and then you guys kind of kick it into shape?
Well, Nicole has a steadfast no jamming rule, so all songs pretty much have to be, like the main structure anyway, has to be completed before practice, so
right.
It's usually she would write a whole song and we'd put it together at practice, or I'd write a couple of riffs which she'd then take away and work on at home and then finish them off at practice.
Yeah, very good. I like that's a good t-shirt, by the way. You can have no jamming. You could have like or a bad t-shirt, whichever way you look at it. Carb on Carb, no jamming. Very cool. So recording for you guys, I mean, I've been in a few bands over the years, and I've always found it really tense. Normally because we've got not much money and we've had to kind of get things done there and then.
Yeah.
But how do you guys find it? Is it something you enjoy, or you find it's a bit of a chore?
Well, the first 2 EPs, because I've got a little bit of recording experience myself.
Oh, cool.
But the first 2 EPs, we recorded the drums in a studio and then did everything else at home.
Right.
So those were like quite relaxed, basically.
Yeah.
So sort of just did it at our own pace and in a comfortable environment. But it wasn't like particularly fun. Also, because I'm not that good at it, so it came out like ideally. But then with this album, we worked with a friend of ours, James Goldsmith.
Okay.
It was actually really fun. Like we went down to Wellington and recorded in a couple of studios there.
Yeah.
And we just like really focused on it for a few days.
Excellent.
Which was but I think the amount of fun it was because we were doing it with a friend.
Yeah. Okay.
If we'd been doing it with this like a stranger who was just like a unfriendly engineer or whatever, it would have not been fun.
It can be pretty hit and miss, eh? All right. So I think I might have covered this already, but the drums and guitar thing, was that a conscious decision? I mean, because I play bass, so obviously I'm highly offended when there's a band without a bass player. I'm going, what? But and it works really well for you guys, I have to say. I mean, and you're obviously really pleased with it, as are hundreds of other people, if not thousands, that are really into what you're doing. So was that a conscious decision? Because you switched instruments, so you used to play guitar, and Nicole used to drum. Yeah, go on.
Well, at the start, it was basically just the simplest choice. Nicole just we wanted Nicole to play her songs.
Right.
I felt like playing drums, trying something new, and like not being at the front.
Yeah.
And so that was just, and we sort of toyed with the idea of getting a bassist. Like, it wasn't too strong at the start, but once we sort of adapted and worked out how to make it sound really good, then we just we settled on keeping it as two. Yeah. Like, because you've always got limitations as a band, and so we just decided to set that as our limitation and just go for it.
Yeah, cool. So how long have you been drumming? Because is it an awfully long time or not?
Since the start of Carb on Carb.
Right, okay, so a couple of years. That's horrible. I'm really jealous of people like you. I
wasn't very good at the start.
Really? Okay, good on you. I'm full of admiration then.
Simple if you listen to them.
Right. But they're really cool. It really works. It really does. I've got a crappy old kit in the garage that I've sat at for hours and still nothing's coming. It probably says more about me, to be honest. Even trying to play old pavement, really simple pavement drum beats, and I just can't do it.
Oh, I actually can't really play anything except Carb on Carb.
Really?
Even if Nicole did allow jamming, I wouldn't be very good at it.
Oh, bless.
I'm just good at my few drum beats I have.
Good on you. Stick to what you know, James. Very good. All right, I'm going to ask you now. This is an awful question as well. I think I've said that about 10 times. What would, if you had to choose one Carb on Carb song that I played right now, what would it be?
My favourite at the moment, maybe just because it's the newest one, is Kei Tamaki.
Cool.
So it's one about Auckland, and it's just, nice and short and fun to play.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay. All right. So we're going to take a little break, and this is Carb on Carb and Kei Tamaki. That was Carb on Carb and Kei Tamaki from the latest album, which you should, if you're interested in anything that's good for your ears, go and download from Bandcamp right now. Anyway, okay. So James, you're coming down. You and Nicole are coming down to play 2 shows on the 30th of May. Have you ever been to Hamilton before, in any capacity?
Yeah, in 2012 we played at Void before it shut down.
Right.
That was a fun show.
Was it? Yeah, I thought it was a great place.
Yeah, Void was really cool. I only went there that one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. We Laurie from Tight on Teeth, and now he's in Carols and stuff.
Uh-huh.
He helped set that up because he knew some people in Hamilton.
Okay, yeah.
So that was cool. And then we also played at Static in 2012 or 13 with Dado Die. I can't remember.
Oh, did you? Is that right? I wasn't. I was going to talk about Carols briefly because they played down here the other week and they were fantastic.
Yeah.
They are awesome. Was it Ruben on guitar?
Yeah, that's Ruben
Yeah.
from of many Auckland bands.
I was going to say he's in about 7,000 other bands. Yeah, that was really good to watch. It was a great show actually. God Bows the Meth and
oh yeah, God Bless the Meth are great.
Yeah, and Green Fog. Yeah, it was really good. So I think the guys you're talking about, at least one of them, Chums, who was involved in setting up Void. I think they ran it for a while and it got shut down because of noise reasons. But Cam and Chums are actually putting on heaps and heaps of shows down here at the moment. It's really cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, no,
like heavier shows, like hardcore shows or something.
All sorts actually. Yeah, there's one. I think D. Burmester and the Blind are playing with PCP Eagles and a few other bands on Saturday. But they did the God Bows show, and this weekend just gone, I.E. Crazy came down with
Girls Pissing and stuff.
Yeah, with those guys and
Cool.
Shab Orchestra and stuff. So yeah, it's really good. There's quite a bit happening down here now. Yes, and you are about to become a part of that yet again. It's going to be really good. So
I'm
two
excited
shows.
to come back.
Sorry, go on.
I'm excited to come back to Hamilton. It's been too long, I think.
Yeah, that'd be great. So there's two shows. There's an all ages show in the afternoon at Creative Waikato, which is going to be very interesting. And then in the evening, the show is with I.E. Crazy, Ancient Tapes, Carb on Carb, and Man in Rug from Palmy. You're playing with them, or you've just played with them?
Yeah, they ended up playing quite a few shows of this tour. They're also playing the Auckland show the night before that one.
That's right. They're going up to you, yeah. Right.
And they're also playing in Palmerston, their hometown.
Yeah, that's cool. All right. Hey, James, thanks so much. I'm going to play a track off the latest album, but as I'm such a professional, I haven't chosen it yet. So this is a Carb on Carb track. James, thank you so much for talking. We'll see you in about a month's time when you come down to play.
No worries. Looking forward to it.
Okay. Take care.
See you soon. Thanks.
Cheers.
If it's me when you're feeling down, I'm
That was Phenomenal Ladies, a track from Carb on Carb's eponymous LP, which you can hopefully buy, because you are going to go, quite clearly, to either of the shows that they're playing, or even both. On the 30th of May, Saturday the 30th of May, Carb on Carb are playing at Creative Waikato at 2 p.m, an afternoon show, all ages, on Alexander Street, and then at 9 p.m. at Navara Lounge, with this band. This is the tremendously named Man in Rug from Palmerston North, playing at the evening show only, at least at this stage, at Navara Lounge on the 30th of May. This is a track called Structured. That's Man in Rug and a track called Structured. I'm really looking forward to see them play, actually, at Navara Lounge on the 30th of May, together with Carb on Carb, Ancient Tapes, and I Crazy. Now, a couple of days before that, on the 28th of May, at the same place, Navara Lounge, there's a free show on to celebrate, I think is the word, New Zealand Music Month, and it features Bri Louise, the Heartbreak Kids, and this band. This is the Changing Same, featuring Matthew Bannister, of course, and this is a track called Make Up My Mind.
Caught in between waking up and a dream, which way to go is the devil you know. This is the way that I feel every day, revolving doors stranded in between floors. my mind. It's a mystery. Decide. Cut by a knife from the jaws of my life, thrown from the tower on the stroke of midnight, saved by the bell of the fall as the chain divide, kept alive by the love of the saint. Oh, somebody please make up my mind. It's a mystery. Decide. Caught in between waking up and a dream. Which way to go is the devil you know. This is the way that I feel every day. Revolving doors stranded in between floors. Oh, somebody please make up my mind. It's a mystery. Decide.
That was the Changing Same and a track called Make Up My Mind. You can see the Changing Same play at Navara Lounge on May the 28th. It's a free show, so why not scoot on along? Now, I want a big thank you actually to everyone that wrote in. It was quite incredible actually. It caught me a little unaware, but thank you to everyone that did send an email and say that they enjoyed the podcast. Both of you. No, it was more than two, which was really nice. And a suggestion that came in one of the emails was to maybe include some music from Hamilton bands of yore, if you'll forgive the shite word. So I thought, why not? And the first track from Days of Yore that I'm going to play is by Nodrog. Nodrog was Gordon Bassett. Gordon played in the Hollow Grinders and the Shrugs, amongst other bands. And this is from the How to Hold a Plectrum EP, which was released sometime back in the 90s. And this is the self-titled track from that, How to Hold a Plectrum. This is Nodrog.
Also diagrammed the way to hold the plectrum between the thumb and the forefinger. We'll go into more detail with this as we go through the chords. sound like this. Ugh. Yeah, I agree. Pretty awful. So, refer back to the tuning section and then we'll have another go. Here's how it should sound.
Nodrog and a track called How to Hold a Plectrum from the EP of the same name from sometime back in the 90s. Now, those that are more switched on will have noticed that we've been adding more and more content online on the Hamilton Underground Press website. And we're really fortunate to be able to add the written film reviews by Dr. Richard Swainson, proprietor of Auteur House. And earlier this week, I was fortunate to be able to get some time to go and have a sit and a chat with Richard, just outlining a little bit about Auteur House and some mighty fine tangents occurred, which I've decided not to edit at all because it is, in my view, all gold. I will apologise for the amount of yeses that I say in response to Richard, but I was just thoroughly enjoying myself. So anyway, sit back and relax. This is about 25 minutes of me talking to Richard about film. Enjoy. Oh, Richard, a nasty cough there. That sounds like a Russian director, doesn't it? A nasty cough. Have you got much by Have you got much by nasty cough? No, absolutely
no.
not. I'm sat here in the centre, well, not the centre, but in kind of off centre of Auteur House in the middle of Hamilton with Richard Swainson. Richard, how are you?
Very good.
Excellent.
Well, shall we start with a correction?
Correct, please.
We're more at the north end than the centre.
The north end.
I suppose Victoria Street's a very long street, but if we consider the CBD portion of Victoria Street, we're at 555 Victoria Street. We're upstairs from Mark 1 Comics and
Excellent.
Little Joe's Cafe and Quality Shoe Repair, roughly across the road from where Kathmandu used to be. In fact, there's a lot of used to be's at the north end of town.
There are actually, aren't there?
Empty real estate and bulldozed real estate.
Indeed.
So we're not quite as far as where Victoria Cinema used to stand.
Right.
Bulldozed last week or maybe the week before. And we're up some stairs, so maybe we're not immediately apparent to the pedestrian who's wandering down the north end of town. But we do have some signage at street level, a hand-painted sandwich board of prescribed, height and breadth. Hamilton City Council is quite arduous.
Is that right?
Quite pedantic would be a better
Are there limits?
phrase.
Is
Yeah.
that fine?
So you might have just walked past it, Rob. Our old sandwich board, which was robust as all hell, but of course too robust and too big. So we can't use that anymore. It has to ridiculously be up the stairs.
That is incredible.
Yeah, so that's
My
where
God.
we are. Auteur House, 555 Victoria Street.
I take it all back. We are not central,
No.
but we are off central. Indeed. Very good. Thank you, Richard, for that introduction. So, why are we here? We're talking about Auteur House today. Nothing particularly filmic, as in specific, but Richard, how long has Auteur House been here?
It's been here about 8.5 years now.
Right,
8.5 being a very cinematic number. It being the name of Federico Fellini's best film, one of the greatest films of all time. And who knows, when the literal 8.5 birthday comes rolling around, we might do something to mark it. Once upon a time we used to do annual parties.
Yeah, I recall those. Thoroughly entertaining.
Haven't done that for a wee while. Yeah. But another idea we've had with regard sort of marking the milestone is to have a quiz night, because I think I can write filmic questions till the proverbial cows come home.
Of that, I have no doubt whatsoever.
So yes, 8.5 years we've been here.
Very good.
And what are we? If you've never heard of us, we are a specialist DVD rental store.
Right.
So we pause for comic effect, perhaps. The dying days of the industry, maybe, and the era of the download and Netflix, etc., etc. What do we offer that's any different from the mainstream given that the mainstream, the likes of your Video Easies and your United Videos are rapidly going out of business. Well, as I say, we are a specialist store. We concentrate more on our back catalogue, not our new releases.
Yeah.
We're kind of a repository of world cinema and of classics.
A wonderful turn of phrase.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you. I just thought of it. We've got movies that go right back to the dawn of cinema in 1895, as well as judiciously selected new releases. We arrange our stock in terms of the surname of the film's director. This classification is hinted at in our name, Auteur House.
Indeed.
Auteur meaning, it's a French word and it means author.
Right.
And its use in the name of the business references the auteur theory of film authorship, thought to be rather old hat by those at the cutting edge of film theory in the 21st century, but once upon a time a rather respected theory, which the French of course came up with, which suggests that the director of a film is its author in the same sense that the author of a novel or a poem or any piece of prose is the author of that written material.
Right, which makes complete sense to me.
Well, yes, it's a problematic theory, of course, because as most of us know, film is a collaborative art form. And so the director may well be literally calling the shots, but does he or her oversee the editing? Have they written the script? Have they designed the set? Are they the lead performers? Do they control distribution, etc., etc.? Is it their money? Well, in some cases, yes, literally the director does
the whole thing.
One or more of those tasks. It's very, very rare that a director does everything. In fact, you could probably count on the fingers of one hand instances where the whole careers are made of directors being one-man bands. But yes, that's what Auteur House is.
Do you think it used to be more like that historically, perhaps, that they would have a greater hand in more aspects of it?
Oh, it depends which area you're talking.
Right.
Historically, really no. I think, or you go right back to the inception of cinema. Very briefly. Right. The likes of the Lumiere brothers, or Thomas Edison and his cohorts. But of course, that wasn't filmed the way we think about it today, as both an industry and an art form. The outstanding example in film history of the auteur in the truest, fullest sense is Charlie Chaplin, because Charlie Chaplin wrote, directed, produced, starred in many cases, also designed sets and did choreography and co-wrote music. Occasionally sang. For the sound portion of his career. No one. There might be one-off examples where in a vanity project, I don't know, a star gets to make the film that they've been dreaming of for all this time. Assumes many of those, but usually that tends to be a one-off. The other example, an obvious example, given he's just celebrated his 100th birthday, Orson Welles. But Welles's contribution to screenplay is a little bit controversial. Wells is a great adapter and a good shaper of other people's contributions. Not quite so strong on coming up with the original story and doing all the writing himself. Chaplin has that over him. But certainly Wells also had an artist's eye. Started off as an amateur painter. Had a great appreciation of music. Not a musician himself by any stretch, not like Chaplin, but understood music and could give very, very specific instructions to his musical, the creators of the scores.
And he's an undoubted favourite of yours, isn't he?
He's my number one. It's a fairly orthodox selection as favourite director of all time. Why, you might ask? I think, in part, when I'm assessing directors, the first port of call, the first standard by which you assess them is the visual. It's a visual medium. And Wells's eye for composition is, in the first instance, why I rate him so highly. Of course, there are many other visually strong directors, but his composition, married to, as it was, great technical acumen, a profound understanding for the way the camera lens works,
Right.
And also, if you're talking about his first professional feature film, Citizen Kane, a collaboration with one of the great cinematographers who was always sang the praises of and always recognised how much in debt he was to him.
Right.
So that eye for visual composition, which, I mean, the other director I would put in the same category would be Sergei Eisenstein, the great Russian director, but also innovative in terms of the way he moved the camera.
Right.
From a certain stage in his career, an incredible editor who really valued the editing process.
Yeah.
That's to the detriment sometimes of the release of his films because he couldn't stop tinkering.
Right.
So those elements which are at once aesthetic, but they're also kind of dramatic and technical.
Yeah.
And then a profound student of the human condition, as well as tremendously well read and steeped in Shakespeare, and also 20th century and late 19th century literature as well. Okay. So a fine actor himself, when he bothered to give disciplined performances, which wasn't always the case when he was working for other people, but always so when he was working on his own projects.
Very good.
In the negative category, with greatness comes great flaws, and unfortunately Orson Welles' work method usually involved overloading himself with projects and trying to do too much all at the same time. Possibly, the old maxim, genius gets bored with itself. Yeah. Or maybe to forestall boredom, Wells would overcommit himself, and certainly in the independent phase of his career, he would have to down tools, as it were, and go off and act in other people's movies to get enough money to finish his independent lead. Right? Yeah. So Wells was in any way you look at it, he was ahead of his time. As the independent filmmaker, which is not quite commonplace these days, but certainly not unprecedented. Yeah. And now with, of course, changes in technology, anyone can become a filmmaker.
Very good. I have to ask you, I'm fascinated listening to you. You talk about film in such amazing detail and with such passion. And this is a bit of a trite comparison, but there was a stage in my life where I'm going to use football as an example now because I've watched football since I was young. And there was a definite point when I stopped enjoying it as a spectacle and I started analysing the shit out of it. Do you think there was ever, or is that a situation you ever found yourself in, that when you're watching whatever it may be, that you're, how do I put it, that the enjoyment of the spectacle, or maybe you watch it a number of times and you have different phases, but because you're watching for how things are, and
I think
the technical aspect of it, does that take away from the enjoyment of it at all for you?
This is an argument that's often marshalled against any kind of serious appreciation of film as an art form. Yeah. That if you start asking serious questions, if you begin a kind of deconstruction process, that you will somehow detract from the magic, from the drama of it. Yeah. I don't think I'm sufficiently disciplined to ever submit film to that kind of rigorous assessment. And I don't think I'm unique in that either. Yeah. I've heard very serious film directors who are capable of an analytical approach if it's demanded of them. Sort of say in interviews that they easily give way to the narrative of film or to its magic. Right.
Can just sit back.
The likes of Scorsese or Spielberg. But a different kind of answer would be that any kind of serious appreciation can but enhance one's enjoyment, and I bought into the notion that the more you know, the somehow less you will enjoy it.
Actually enjoy it.
I mean, if that were the case, people would never watch say, making of docos, which but possibly now with changes in distribution patterns, they're not going to continue in the same way as they have. But say for the duration of the video and the DVD era, they became rather popular as extras, also certainly on the DVD era, and those kind of documentaries about how things were made, or in which you see behind the camera as well. As soon as the movie starts, you tend to forget.
It's true. It's very true. Very true. Yes, and similar. I mean, I haven't stopped enjoying watching football. Similarly, but there was definitely a point in time where I remember thinking about how they were set up and who was doing what and all those kind of things. And I think originally it did detract from it, but I guess you have to, for your own benefit, because it's something that you enjoy. It's what's the word I'm looking for? Not a hobby, I guess it is with football for me, but it's something that you really is hugely enjoyable for you.
With a lot of these kind of human endeavours, they're not just one thing. There are a whole lot of things, aren't they?
Very true.
So,
very true.
I mean, a lot of people buy into that false dichotomy of sport and culture, as though a sporting contest could not also be a cultural event, and also in its own way, well, certainly a narrative. It's
absolutely,
it's a story with an unwritten end, or the end is written before you. But also, an aesthetic component of athleticism, but also visual beauty, and clearly akin to dance, or I mean, some great. Cricket match has all that.
Don't get me started on cricket. we could go for. Actually, that would be a good feature. That when the test starts.
Well, getting a long way from film here, but I film is by definition it's an industry and it's an art form, and at times there are uneasy bedfellows, and when you get someone as extreme as Wells, then things crack, and he only completed, to the point of a film being in the theatre being released, 13 feature films in a career that stretched from 1941 to his death in 1985. And there are many reasons for that, but primarily Wells didn't just want to be a commercial filmmaker. He had the opportunity to. The irony of Wells's career is that his only commercially successful film was his least interesting film artistically. So he proved that he could do it and bring it in under budget as well. Freudian slip. But he wanted more than that. He was an artist, and every Dick and Harry claims they're artists now, but he was the bona fide suffering artist who well, we could tell by the size of his belly that he didn't suffer too much, but in comparison to the career that he might have had, the lap of luxury that he could have lived in Hollywood, as opposed to becoming this kind of itinerant who lived in a variety of different European countries whilst trying to cobble together financing for his next grand project.
It's pretty. I must say, I want to find out more now about Orson Welles, not being anywhere near as well versed in him as yourself. We don't have very long left. We could go on for hours here, without a doubt.
Well,
if there were, I'm going to put you on the spot now. This is horrible of me. If there was one movie that you had to recommend, either directed or featuring Orson Welles, what would that be?
Well, the stock answer and the literal answer is Citizen Kane for anyone who hasn't seen it. Citizen Kane was once formerly the greatest film of all time, and then it topped Sight and Sound magazine's every decade. Sight and Sound does a survey of international critics and filmmakers, and for about 40 years Citizen Kane topped that list. Right? It's now slipped in the 2012 list. It slipped to number 2, displaced by Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo. Coincidentally, the two films sharing one thing, that is the composer Bernard Herrmann, who wrote the score for both of them. But Citizen Kane, like all great works of art, it says different things about different eras, and in today's world of Rupert Murdochs and media tycoons, it's as relevant as it ever was. Wells was inspired to make a kind of biopic about a fictional newspaper baron who was based in large part, not exclusively, on William Randolph Hearst, the original yellow journalist, and so whilst it begs wider questions about the human condition, it's also kind of an expose about mass media and the manipulation of public opinion, which has huge relevance.
Absolutely,
today. In its kind of fractured structure, it's kind of like a mini essay on the subjective nature of truth too, in that it's a story told by many different narrators, all of whom have a specific perspective and opinion on the central character. The story is driven by quest. There's a newspaper man at the kind of centre of the film who's like the audience's spokesperson, if you like. A quest to discover the meaning of this newspaper tycoon's last word as he dies. He's heard to say the word rosebud, which is one of many reasons why William Randolph Hearst, who was still alive when this film came out, was very angry at it, because, as legend goes, Rosebud was his pet name for his mistress's clitoris.
Is that right?
So he felt a little outraged that this very intimate of secrets was now the stuff of a film, and many critics would puzzle over its actual meaning. There's a very good piece actually on the occasion of Wells's birth, or the centenary, and it was a very good essay in the Guardian, 21st century reading of Citizen Kane, which argued for a reconsideration of certain aspects of the film's story. I don't really want to give that away, but all of which is to say, it's even though it was made in 1941, it continues to have dramatic, not only dramatic power, but kind of relevance.
Very relevant,
in terms of where we're at in the 21st century. It's also, visually dazzling. As I said, sort of at the outset of this interview, that one of Wells's prime strength is the visual, his composition. It's it's dramatically exciting. It's something that sometimes it's difficult to articulate because it gets you on a gut emotional level. But for me, Orson Welles' greatness is screamed in every frame of every film he ever did. And there's only one comparison, I think, and that is Eisenstein. But then Eisenstein wasn't, he had a number of flaws, and he worked within the Soviet system, so he was his career was equally kind of blighted. So if you think Wells was blighted by capitalism in a sense, Eisenstein was blighted by the constraints of working for Stalin. At least he kept his head, which is more most citizens of the People's Republic did.
Have you got Citizen Kane here?
We've just recently acquired our 5th copy of Citizen Kane. That's atypical. The store isn't groaning under multiple copies of many titles. But yes, on the
because it's coming home with me, I have to say. You've just sold it to me. That's my evening sorted out. Thank you very much. So we're going to make this a more regular thing as part of the podcast that we do for the Underground Press. I thought I could sit and listen for hours. Really, I could. I absolutely could soak it all up, and hope to do so in future weeks. But for now, Richard, thank you very much.
Thank you, Rob.
All right, cheers.
There you have it, Richard Swainson. Thanks again to Richard for his time today and general wisdom. I had a thoroughly enjoyable time, and we hope to be including more Richard on future podcasts. That's about it. We've got one more track to play, but before we do that, just a quick reminder, the shows that we are promoting, Hamilton Underground Press are promoting, it's the Carb on Carb shows on May the 30th at 2 o'clock at Creative Waikato. on Alexander Street, it's Carb on Carb, Ancient Tapes and IE Crazy. And then at 9 o'clock at Nivara Lounge, it's the same bands, but also with Palmerston North's Man in Rug. So hope to see you there. And if not, try and get out and see one of the other really cool shows that are around at the moment. The Changing Same show on the 28th of May. And I'm sure there's an awful lot more that I haven't mentioned as well. Thanks again for listening. If you've got any suggestions or feedback, please drop us a line at hamiltonundergroundpress@gmail.com. And we'll be releasing another podcast hopefully in the next couple of weeks, but in the meantime, to play out for no apparent reason other than they are from Hamilton and this is a really great track. This is Thunderdykes and Ready to Land. Thanks again for listening. Cheers.